Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. In this episode, we explore the northern Italian province of Varese. We ride the hills above Castello, Italy, and then we navigate the narrow, kind of these winding roads of the San Antonio Pass, and we stumble across this tiny little village that we literally squeak through called San Michele. It's an ancient Irish-Italian village. And then finally, we take a walking tour of the beautiful waterfront promenade in Lugano, Switzerland. And as an added bonus, I sing a little bit of Italian. Very little bit, thankfully. So enjoy the episode. It's really important that if you did enjoy the video to like it, and also please subscribe. And if you would also ding the little bell for notifications. That stuff is really helpful to me. Thank you. So enjoy the episode. All right, thanks. Bye. Okay, so the fourth day of our Edelweiss Bike Tours Alps adventure finds us starting out in Lugano, Switzerland at the Continental Park Hotel. Before we get too far into this video, let me show you my ride for this trip. I'm on a 2019 BMW GS 1250. Other than one minor issue detailed in the day one video, this was a perfect ride for enjoying these high Alps roads. And I had no problems keeping up with the other guys on their Ducatis, etc. I can easily recommend this bike for having plenty of power, handling, and comfort. Okay, so we travel south and west through the northern Italian province of Varese toward Lake Maggiore. Not long into our morning, we stop for gelato in the lakeside Italian village of Lovino Mombello. As you might imagine, the gelato was amazing. I have no doubt I could eat gelato at every meal and not grow tired of it. My friend Jim would agree, no doubt. So after the gelato stop, we head north along the eastern shore of Lake Maggiore in the province of Varese. The lake is known for its Mediterranean landscape. After 700 AD, numerous villas were built along the shores of the lake, which became a valued residency for the aristocracy and wealthy bourgeoisie. This area is known for two popular points of interest. The first is called Sacromonte. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The other is a group of islands called the Borromean Islands, the most popular of which is called Isla Bella. This island was dedicated by its wealthy owner in 600 AD, a guy by the name of Carlo Borromeo, to his wife, Isabella d'Ada. Now that's not just being generous. That's amore. Varese is a popular destination for vacations and holidays. Surrounded by glacial lakes and verdant countryside, Varese offers a seemingly infinite wealth of historic villas, enchanting gardens, and evocative, breathtaking landscapes. Earlier I mentioned the Sacro Monte, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Understanding the history and importance of this site gives us insight into why this area is so popular. The property Sacri Monti, or Sacred Mountains of Piedmont and Lombardy, consist of a series of 9 separate complexes, of which Varese is one. Each complex includes a number of chapels and other architectural features created in the late 16th and 17th centuries and dedicated to different aspects of Christian belief. The history of Sacramonte began at the turn of the 15th and 16th centuries, with the aim of creating places of prayer in Europe as an alternative to the Holy Land, Jerusalem and Palestine. At that time, access to the Holy Land was becoming more and more difficult for pilgrims due to the rapid expansion of Muslim culture. Once the Turks conquered Constantinople, pilgrimages to Jerusalem had become extremely risky. So have you ever wondered why today so often Catholics and Protestants don't get along? A Franciscan monk from Milan is credited with this idea. If we can no longer go to Jerusalem, then let's bring Jerusalem here, within any faithful's reach. The monk's name was Bernardino Caimi, and at the end of the 15th century, having found great support for his idea, he began to hunt for the perfect place to start building a new Jerusalem. Initially, 3 different locations were proposed. This area was one, as well as Montione in Tuscany and Braga in northern Portugal. Locations were selected based on similarity of topography to the Holy Land. This idea took root, especially after the Council of Trent, which everyone knows was held between 1545 and 1563, when the Church adopted the additional role of combating the influence of the Protestant Reformation. This Catholic versus Protestant feud is still going on today, but it all started right here. As we trek up Strada Provinciale 7, or State Highway 7 in the Italian hills, we pass a little turnoff for a waterfall. The Cascata della Frota, or the Waterfall of Frota, is a gorgeous little spot for a picnic and offers amazing views of a waterfall. It's a short 1.5 kilometer walk from the road with wooden bridges and iron ladders. Before you take a dip, though, note that the water is freezing cold. Apparently an award-winning photograph was taken of this waterfall. We'll have to stop here on the next trip. We have no time to stop today.
boys, I got you.
So these roads were a lot of fun. Just tight turns. You gotta be careful though. Jim goes around one of these bends and almost runs over his foot. And Jim is an excellent motorcycle rider. Just unexpected things can happen. Entering this next town was really cool. I just really was impressed by just how old it instantly felt. You knew that cars could not pass down this road, that this was built before cars existed. In fact, centuries before cars existed. As we leave the thriving metropolis of San Michele, I noticed this way old church over there to the left. I think by now you can all sense a history lesson coming on. So according to the church's website, the church celebrates a mass to honor the Archangel Michael, hence the name San Michele. After the service, there is an enchantment of offerings in nature, salami and local cheeses, old-time butter, cakes and pies, and if the season permits, even some nice mushrooms collected right in the surroundings of the Alp. Alright, so two local historians have unearthed some interesting history regarding this area and this church. Lauro Carabelli and Roberto Corbella weave a narrative dating back to the 6th century AD. As if to confirm the speculation of the local historians, Franco Rabbiosi discovered this boulder a decade ago containing ancient Celtic carvings. Why Celtic carvings in northern Italy? I'm glad I asked. Recently, in the year 2000, the roof was redone and ancient frescoes that had been covered with plaster were discovered. The frescoes have a variable date between the year 1000 and the 14th century. On the left side of the wall stands a votive Madonna flanked by San Antonio Abate and San Bernardo, which date back to the 16th century and is the work of the painter Guglielmo da Montegrino. Inside the church, a sign in Italian tells the history of the church. My Italian is perfecto, so I will summarize the sign in English for you. In the 4th century AD, Ireland was, according to the apostolic works of St. Patrick, St. Brendan, and St. Brigidia, a haven for upright and lively Christians, while in Italy, not so much, because of the influences of the Romans. Apparently, blackmail and heresy was rampant. So Irish missionaries decided to re-Christianize Europe. This area had been settled by the Lombards, a Germanic tribe, in 569 AD. The Irish monks arrived and began their missionary work. San Michele was a saint popular with both the Irish Christians and the Aryan or pagan people of the area. The town was no more than a collection of huts, but a chapel was built and it thrived for centuries until the mid-1500s. The church was then used as a refuge for shepherds and animals. It miraculously avoided fire despite being used to store coal. It remained in a state of neglect until 1698. Amazing that such a history exists and the building still stands and is used today.
That's better than a roller coaster.
Absolutely.
I mean, a roller coaster, you just hang on. Hope you don't lose your lunch. That was fun. That was control. The other direction.
Got plenty more. Got plenty more. Why don't you run up?
No, it's fine. I'm good following you. I got lots of good video of you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You got me almost running over my foot?
Yep, I got that.
I was in second, and it was just too slow.
Well, you look to your left.
Huh?
You looked to your left and you were turning right.
Yeah.
And I didn't even look left. I was like, oh, I don't want to do the same thing.
Yeah, with these bags, that could have hurt.
Yeah.
Check out this place on the left. Somebody really wanted a view that wouldn't be blocked, so they built up. Tonight is our second night in the Continental Park Hotel. It's a historic hotel in Lugano, Switzerland, built in stages between 1870 and 1906. The current owner's great-grandfather bought the hotel in 1912, and his family has operated it ever since. After a complete restoration between 2006 and 2010, the hotel manages to successfully reconcile the modern requirements of comfort with the historical prestige of the hotel. Now, the town of Lugano is located in the province of Ticino, Switzerland. This is the Italian-speaking area of Switzerland. I honestly didn't realize Italian was spoken at all in Switzerland because in past trips I was in areas where German is the predominant language. And when I think of Switzerland, I think of mountains, skiing, biking, motorcycles, etc. I don't typically associate the tropics with Switzerland. But oddly enough, this part of Switzerland has a rare, humid, subtropical climate for the latitude due to the warm average temperature of 22 degrees Celsius, which is about 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The grounds of the hotel reflect this nicely. We really enjoyed the pool and poolside bar after a long day of riding. So after a quick dip in the pool, a few of us decide to take a walk into town, get some dinner there, and take a look around Lugano and see what there is to see. On our way to dinner, we stumble onto two of Lugano's premier shopping areas. Via Nasa is one of Lugano's historical pedestrian-only streets. It is known for its elegant and sophisticated shops that include jewelry, clothing, eateries, and antique shops. Via Pesina is another popular shopping area in Lugano. It's located in the city center and is considered one of the main hubs of business and social life. Many historic buildings and modern international shops are located here. There are traditional markets of seasonal fruits next to exclusive boutiques. Since 1803, this shopping district has been welcoming famous personalities such as Clark Gable and Sophia Loren. A short walk later and we find ourselves in the Piazza della Riforma. With many bistros and restaurants, it is the city's main gathering place. Many local festivals are held here, but in the past, when the square was called Piazza Grande, it was the scene of several political events. This square was the site of an uprising in 1798 in which the Canton Ticino, or Swiss state Ticino, proclaimed its independence from the Confederation of Swiss Cantons. Now under French protection, remember that Napoleon invaded Switzerland in 1798. The Helvetic Republic offered a constitution that granted individual rights and equality. The term free and Swiss was coined right here. Today, the square is dominated by Palazzo Civico, or the Town Hall. Look up to the gable above the clock to see the city's coat of arms. Continuing our walk to dinner, we make our way down to the water. The view of Lake Lugano is impressive. even the traffic jams in Lugano are better. But we noticed quickly that a major feature of Lugano is the waterfront promenade. Lots of people just sitting on park benches or walking along the water. Notice the way the trees have no low branches. The trees are pollarded, which is a pruning technique practiced in Europe since medieval times. Pollarded trees tend to live longer as this constant pruning process keeps them in a juvenile state. About halfway down the promenade is the lakefront Belvedere Sculpture Garden. This is Lugano's most beloved park and considered the crown jewel of Lugano. The park's sculptures include William Tell, Socrates, and Giorgio Washington. Washington never visited Lugano, but was immortalized by a Swiss entrepreneur who was compelled to donate the bust to honor the United States as a land of opportunity. Alright, so by now you have to be asking, do you guys ever get to dinner? Yes, we do, and it was a delicious meal. The wine was great, the food was great, and the service was wonderful. The waiters offered to take this picture of us, and wound up also taking a picture of themselves, which was really kind of a lighthearted, funny moment that we really enjoyed. After dinner, we make the trek back up the hill to the hotel. Along the way, we pass this church that's kind of a prominent feature of the Lugano landscape or cityscape. It was a Cathedral of St Lawrence built, kind of goes back to 818, and well, just a beautiful, beautiful church. We got kind of tired, so we took the tram back up the hill. Alright everybody, that is the end of this week's episode. I hope that wasn't too much history for you, because I'm not out of history, but I am out of annoying Italian music to play, so we'll have to end this episode here. Just please remember to like the video, ring the notification bell, and please don't forget to subscribe, that's important. And also remember to be in love with your life every minute of it. Thank you.